Hello folks, we're going to do a Thunderpole 1000, but not the one in this box. I brought this one out. This is one which we've shown before. I bought this with my own money as a brand new set, and you know, we did a video on it some years ago whenever it came out, and that was that. There's a reason I brought that out, and also a reason, well, where have I put the radio? So I've printed off an instruction book, because with this instruction book you actually get a circuit diagram, and the way it's printed, it's over 2 pages. Now, one of the printers we have here, in fact two of the printers we have here, are HP NV5530 printers. Then we've got an A3 printer, and we've got 2 or 3 laser printers and a dye sublimation printer, and it goes on. And this particular printer, every time you print something and you want it double-sided, it prints it single-sided. And then you have to go into properties and tell it that it's a double-sided printer with a built-in thingy-ma-flop. And the other 5530 doesn't play that trick. But when Mr. Chippy uses that printer, it doesn't do that. It only does it from our Windows 10 computer. It doesn't do it from the... So there you go. I don't know. So we got... when you print these things, it starts at the back page. So it printed it single-sided, and I realised it was printing it single-sided, and I did manage to halt it and then resume, but I wasn't going to reprint it. So the back two I've laminated front to back. So then we've got single pages, and then hopefully we go double-sided from page 8 backwards, when I told it to stop and restart, and it was a double-sided printer. Well, that's taken half the video up. Right, I put the set somewhere. I do these A4 so I can actually read them. Well, that took hunting. I put it on the edge of a table and couldn't see it for looking. It's got side bobbles, so I'll try and remember for those to go back with it. It's come with a standard replacement mic. This is one I bought off eBay. So we've covered the brand new one. We were given one as a gift very kindly from a viewer probably about 18 months ago. We've done that set, and this one is one I bought off eBay. It's come with an Intek branded mic, which is standard insert. I might use our own standard replacement mic, so we've got the tonal things later on. It's come with enough power lead for it to be okay, and I don't know whether we've bought this as broken or... It's serial number 00009. How about that? Now, where did I put the sheet of paper? We haven't got Mr. Chippy. It's Saturday today. We haven't got Mr. Chippy today or tomorrow. It's Mothering Sunday, and he's lucky enough to still have a mother. So won't be any on the air tests. Just get him to do a stack of them when he comes back. We're plugged into the test gear. We'll switch the power supply on 13.8 volts. It's powered up, and it's on E1. So quick look at the instruction book. What do we do? We don't want that, do we? We want U for UK. So what do we do? Turn off the radio, press the up button. Got a noisy volume control. And then we can there we go, and then you press the PCT to lock that into its memory. There we go. And we should be able to select between EK, UK and EU with the switch. Go to channel 20. We can't go to channel 20 because the channel 919 switch. Oh, that's interesting. That confused it, didn't it? The display went off because it was set up in channel 9. Where am I going? Right. Well, on the face of that, that bit works. We're going to transmit. Put picture in picture on. We're on the 3 watt scale. It's doing 3 watts. Now I'm going to have to go and get that piece of paper. We're going to have to start writing things down. Whilst I'm on my feet, we lent, Mr. Chippy has a Sony DVD 115E, which is a 2008 disc camcorder, this one, and we lent it somebody and we've not got it back, and so I've had to buy another one off eBay. Paid £25 for it, and luckily it works, got a knackered battery. I want to take some footage of doggy daycare for you, and 1 or 2 other things around. That'll be a separate video so that you don't have to watch it. But the other thing I want to ask you all is, this camera came with a disc in it. This disc has got 2.5 minutes of various footage. Do you want me to include the 2.5 minutes of somebody else's footage? I think they went to Egypt. They weren't that good at using the camcorder. It's probably the only 2.5 minutes they ever took. They really were struggling in the beginning of it. And do you want me to stick that on the end? We can always re-edit it if the owner of that footage from 2009 says, hang on, that's my disc, can I have it back please? I like lost discs, I do. I love watching other people's videos. I miss my late Uncle Peter and his slideshows. Mind you, I've got his slides here. What's the date? 31st, 29. It's going to be the 29th. The 0009. Not James Bond's, is it? 00007. I've said when I was doing that realistic 2003, we lent somebody one and never got it back. Hey, good this, isn't it? We're always lending people things, never getting them back. And that was serial number 000007. Right, so we can write down that this is doing 3 watts. I'm just going to check, it is doing 3 watts. So that's out of the box, 3 watts. I'm going to put channel 1 CEPT there. I will look at AM, and we'll put an extra box in for AM. It's of no interest to me, but I will do that. Just go to channel 40, see what power it's doing. 3 watts. Go to channel 1 and it's doing 3 watts. And we'll go to channel 1 CPT, so switch it to EU, so it's now on C for CPT, and it's doing 3 watts. That's well balanced, isn't it? Deviation for what it's worth on this test set, we'll go into this in detail. I'll better go back to UK, otherwise I'll have to redo the tuning on the test set. Wow, it's 1.5 on that. And we'll set the signal generator. Oh, let's just see if it's on frequency. Let's go over to camera 2. And what we got? 27 79116. It's pretty close, isn't it? If it's adjustable, we'll do that. I'll set the signal generator up accordingly. 2779. I can hear it's receiving. Perhaps this really was a working set off eBay. Perhaps they couldn't get it off the CPT channels because they'd forgotten to read the instruction book. I get quite a few questions, you know. How do you? I've got this radio and it's not on UK band. So when you buy new sets, they're not on UK band. How do I get it on UK band? And so it's on page 6 of the instruction book. You know, I don't get. Perhaps somebody can tell me why people. Am I the only person who can download instruction books? Nearly all there for free. And if it wasn't available to download for free, I would actually get a copy out and tell them exactly what you do. But if it's in an instruction book you can get, well, they can look it up. Right. Or does everybody want things handing on a plate these days? I don't know. Right. What should we do? It's a bit crackly, isn't it? It's probably it's the volume control. Right, let's plug the test gear into the extension speaker socket and put sufficient volume on for a reading. Turn the squelch down. Very good, 0.68. For 10 dB, 0.61, and I'm still showing you that. I should be showing you the sign-off meter. So there's our 10, and then for 20, if it does it, nearly. It's currently 1.15. Squelch. Turn it to full. Put the attenuator on for you. So we're at 300 microvolts. At least it opens. There's no hard and fast rule as to where that should be. I like it to be 100, but there you go, that's me. Turn the squelch down. Set the signal generator off. Squelch to threshold, signal generator back on, 0.3, very good. It's got an auto squelch or a preset squelch, we'll find out, won't we? It's currently set to 8, I'll call it auto squelch, it may not be. So that's fair enough. It doesn't have a meter, oh, thank goodness for that. Doesn't have PA, does it? External S. Does it say external S meter, or is it just the case for another version? Right, we'll get the lid off. So it's really very good, that, and so it's an eBay item that actually works. But they might have been frustrated over the not being able to get the only getting the CPT channels on it. Who knows? So all I got the boxed one out for is to borrow the mic, and we'll do that one on the air test. I do prefer LED displays on CB radios. I don't find liquid crystal ones very readable in a car. Mind you, that Thunderpole T1000 we have in the test car. In fact, in all the cars, isn't it? We've got one in the van and one in the Almera as well. They are readable, but these little displays, like you got on the Midland 38 and that, are difficult to read. Okay. Might be enough wire there to not have to... Why What's that like that? Does it get hot? If we're looking for capacitors that could have got distressed. So it's a Intek M120 Plus. So I could use the full service manual for that. What on earth's happened here? To SA1241, that's been changed. Transistor 36. Oh, well, transistor 36 is supposed to be KTB 1367, and they've got a 2SA 1241 in there, or KTA 1241. Why would that be? So it looks to me like it's the voltage regulator for the automatic power control. Oh, there you go. Right. So if it isn't obvious, I can just get out the Intek 120 Plus service manual. Right. Well, I might as well put it on frequency. Of course, I've done 2 of these before, but I've just totally forgotten that it's what it is. So there we go. We'll see if we can get a bit more power, whether that's what it's going to be. Just oh, do the frequency. I'm to get it wrong, aren't I? One, 2, 7. IFT8, IFT7 are in the transmitter. IFT7 is in the transmitter. Well, that's weird because I can't see another one. IFT2. IFT2 and 3. Definitely in the receiver. There should be an IFT1. It may not be adjustable. Yes, it is. It's there. IFT1. IFT2, IFT3, crystal filter. We've got a detector coil there. It's IFT 5, that's 4, that's 5. I think this is the FM one and that's the AM one. Right. Well, I just can't find IFT 8 on the circuit. So I'm going to do this for UK. So it's my set. I won't be using CPT apart from the demonstration. It won't be much different anyway, so you'll see from the figures. Go over to the 3 watts, the 30 watt scale now. So that's all there is in the transmitter. Check the placement of that. So we're still at 3 watts. There should be an automatic power control somewhere. Otherwise it wouldn't be that transistor. That's a wrong transistor. It might not make any difference, but it's something we'd probably sort out. So we've got one which says mod. That's probably exactly what it is for AM. So it's going to be that one, isn't it? So 3.5 is the maximum we're going to get. And as I've said a lot of times, it's not a matter of turning it to full. It's a matter of turning it to the point at which nothing further happens, and then back it off to the point where something does happen. It's like putting your pedal to the metal in the wrong gear. There's no point thrashing it for no improvement. Right, 3.5 watts. So let's look at the other channels. Channel 1 UK, 3.5 watts. Channel 40, 3.45 watts. There's a possibility that it just might do a fraction on CPT. Channel 1 CPT, no, it's 3.4. And on channel 40 CPT, it's 3.5. Back to UK, back to channel 20. There we go. So I'll just make a note RV2 is power. So we've got RV5, RV3, RV4, RV5, so it's mod, but that can mean FM, it can mean AM. I'm hoping it means AM, what? That's a shadow. I thought it was something blown up and black there. Not 2. RV2. RV3 is power. I think that is AM mod. I think because it's by the audio chip, I'm expecting that's going to alter the way the amplifier is. So I would think that's going to be FM and that's going to be AM. That leaves us with RV1 and RV4. And they're all around the receiver area. I'm expecting them to be squelch and preset squelch. So that will be it. We can look at the circuit diagram. Might find some of that out. But I don't want to ponder over this forever. Well, RV1. So squelch says there. It says squelch volume. That's a nice way of putting it, isn't it? So RV1 is preset squelch. And then when we see here, we've also got a switch for the squelch. So it's a preset squelch. It's not an auto squelch. So it's RV. I'm going to still put ASQ, but this isn't. It's preset. Well, I think that's kind of sorted that out. And back to the deviation. Well, it's going to be the one that feeds the varicap diode for the FM. If we can quickly find that. I don't want to spend too much time looking at circuit diagrams. I've got a varicap diode there. This looks like a speech processing circuit. Can't quickly see a preset, so we're not bothered. Right, we'll come back. We'll come to that. I think we'll do that now. I'll go to the test set behind me. We'll just check what the deviation is. I've got a number of those Moonraker 40 channel very late. Is it the minor? The very late one with the up down buttons, like 1999 CB2781 sets, and they've all got buttons missing off the front. It'd be nice if I could do one of those, and perhaps if I can find 3 of them in here, I might find enough to make up one front. Shows there's a weakness there, doesn't it? Wow, it's just about 2, so I think, yeah, it definitely needs to come up. So chances are it's going to be this. Wow, it is. Behind the scenes, I'll be changing this for what it should be. It's not going to affect the test. I don't know whether somebody thought that was beefing it up. I'll have to look at the data books. Right. So it was 2. It's now 2.2 to 2.5, and we never did the current on transmit. In fact, it's 998 milliamps. And it's not a 2781 set, so it doesn't have low power. Right. I'll do the FM receive, and then we'll switch it over to CPT, and we'll look at AM. We need to do something about that volume control as well. can we do it easily, or is it a dismantle one? Needs a bit more looking at than that. Okay, so over to receive. So we're now on frequency, so make sure the test set's on frequency. It's 27. Right, we go over to the oscilloscope, make sure the FM detector, which we have come to the conclusion is this one, wasn't that far out, but there was a fraction out. And then we've got 3 here. Let's go to the synod meter. Before we do that, let's see what it's supposed to be. So it was doing the 1.8 kilocycle, which it was doing exactly what they said it should do, but that's too low for the UK. Receiver. Oh, it's not doing that. 0.5 for 20. I doubt it ever will. I think that's a bit far-fetched. But you see, here we go. I'm in EMF mode, and if you put it into PD mode, EMF is electromotive force, PD is potential difference. It's easier to achieve, so we will switch over to see whether it does that at the end. So let's go over to the synod meter, we're on that, and we'll turn down the signal to, better turn the squelch down too. There we go. It's got new readings, and it's 0.47 now for 12 dB. For 10 dB, it's 0.41. And for 20, it's 0.78. So we'll switch the signal generator over to PD mode, and let's look at the sensitivity of 20 now. Oh, lo and behold, it's 0.2. So you see, it exceeds what they say in that mode. But we don't test them like that. We use the harder to achieve figures. Right, so the squelch, full squelch, and now we need to adjust RV1. Just put the attenuator up on the screen so you can see that we are at 100 microvolts. That's where I want full squelch to be. And that's fine. Now the auto squelch, which isn't, it's currently 8. Well, it was 8, it isn't now because adjusting that has affected it. We want it to be 3. So I want that to squelch out. We're currently at 3. I want it to be about 4.5, and it is. I'm going to recheck the other one because altering that might have affected it. It hasn't. So our sensitivity now is still 0.3. So we've now got that at 4.5 microvolts, that at 100 microvolts, and that's still at 0.3 microvolts. That's jolly good. Right, we'll just look at AM. So we'll need to take it out of UK, so we'll switch it on with the up button. Oh, try again. Not quick enough. C1. I think it's that one. Yeah, it is. I might as well do this on channel 40. Here we go. End up unplugging the extension speaker. 865. What are we on? I've got that wrong. Oh, but on Ireland, on Italy, they don't have the same channels. I want it on E1. That's the one. That's right. So channel 40, 26965, shouldn't it? No, that's the first channel. Try again. Let's put the frequency counter up. So channel 1 should be 26965, which it is near enough, and channel 40 is 2740473. So notice it's not quite as on frequency as the UK set of channels are. Not that it makes any difference, it's well within spec. So I want to do two things. I want to do the AM detector. So we need to put into the signal generator what we've got on transmit, which is 2740473 to be fair. 27. Oh, there's the phone. Yeah, it was an elderly person from church. Right, at 2740475 is where we were. Just check that's what it was on transmit. I've got a memory like a sieve. 2740473, 2740476. That's near enough. So we're going to do the AM detector. Look at that on the oscilloscope. Except we've got to plug the gear back in, haven't we? Because AM causes interference so much that it interferes with the test gear. Just move that slightly. And this is the detector coil. Absolutely spot on as it was, but at least we've checked it. Sensitivity, never anything like as good. We got 1.2 microvolts for 12 decibel synad, and this is channel 40, remember, with CEPT, so I'm being fair because we've tuned it for the UK set of channels. Oh, it's just got better. New reading, 1 microvolt. So, what else we're going to do? Modulation. So we'll just have to set for AM and tune it in. Unplug that extension speaker, it's going to go into feedback. Wallow, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Wallow, wallow. It's 88%. The book says 85%. But just to prove that it's the control we think it is, we'll just touch it that little tiny bit. Take it up to 90%. Full scale deflection is 90% on this instrument. One, two, wallow. I'm going to use the instrument. You're squedging at that. Wallow, that's beyond. Wallow, 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 wallow. There we go. So that's the AM done. Just make a note about this transistor. 2SA 1241 should be, what was it, Q, the glasses, Q36. KTB 1367. Which will be the same as 2SB 1367. So it's doing 3.5 watts, which counts as 4 watts because it's over 3.4. Nothing new there, is there? And it's possible that with the right transistor in the voltage regulator, it may do more. I'm going to replace that behind the scenes. We're going to do the on the air test and everything as this is, but we'll do that behind the scenes, and if it does change the transmit power, I'll do a revisited video. But that's going to be probably about 6 weeks while we import one. I don't want anyone to think that more basic sets are less range than top of the range sets, because they're not. They're all the same. You're just paying for bells and whistles most of the time, ones which you don't actually need. And a lot of the top of the range sets have got menus on them which actually slow down things like how quickly it goes into transmit. Right, so we'll now reset this. Well, while it's on AM and all that, I'll tell you what, we'll just put it on the aerial. So it's on the roof aerial, which is an Antron 99, mounted just above gutter level, broadside into a concrete apex roof, concrete tiles. So we're on AM, CPT. Right, FM. Now we'll reprogram it for UK. One Anna Roger. And of course you can go to the CPT set of channels which we've already covered. So at least it tells you you're on U for UK and C for CPT. So, you know, it could be worse. So there we are. We'll do an on-the-air test for that. Did I tell you I bought a clock radio from 1978, 1976? Bandertone clock radio. Might have a look at that. So thanks for watching the Thunderpole T1000, which is an Intek M120, did we say? I looked back at the video. Thanks for watching.